Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith with Strat Time Report here, and let's take a look at what's going on here. So, unfortunately, we had some unfortunate explosions at the Kabul airport, and so that brought the market in just a tad. But if bad news could bring this market down, we'd be a lot lower, right? We know that. So, what did happen was here on the daily, took out yesterday. We took out the highs, and then boom, 2-2 reversal. But all it was able to do was stop out a couple of these guys. It wasn't weak enough to come after this day, right? So you can see this. These two become an outside bar of that, right? On the daily. Still green on the week, still green on the month, albeit running out a week and month. And now potentially an inside 60. It was real chop shop and all here. And now you can see we're in the middle of the range of the day. That's kind of a problem because you want to have a trend. You don't want to take out the highs, you want to take out the lows. Nowhere near doing that. So potentially an inside 60 here. If we go to the QQQ, and QQQ does the same, two up, two down, becomes right back up into the range, right? You can see this here, and if you go to the 30, you're going to see this. Something we look for. Inside bar, outside bar, then inside bar, then real move, right here. But what all that did is bring it back into the middle of the range. You can see the new 60 and the new 30s starting to back off here a little bit, just a tad. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, we've known about this all week. Looking like an inside week all week, right? How are we going to get outside of there? Looks like we are not going to do that, right? So we do go inside on the 60 here, but for the most part, Diamond's doing nothing. I mean, look at this weekly candle. So you always want to, know what day you're looking at it and be like, okay, well, we're on a Thursday. It's like we got one day. You're going to take this out? Probably not. So it's a see you next week, and you can look at this range tight nothingness. And if we go to small caps, and small caps tried to break their little winning streak here by going two down, but also inside on the 60 for now. Still, we've known about this being an inside month. And we did have RevStrat week, and it got something going, but these broader averages have been a little tough, and that's why we've pretty much been sticking on story stocks or sectors specific when we day after day, right? And that's been changing a lot. So today is Thursday, so you got a natty gas number, and natty gas number comes out, and that triggers this on the UNG. The two down, two up weaker, trying to go take out these highs. I know natty's not very thrilling, but it did what it was supposed to do so far. Take this out, and now see if you can be strong enough to take that out. If we go to CrowdStrike, and CrowdStrike having a nice little day here, and it is exhaustion risk, which means anytime you go into the highs, right, the buyer's got to keep stepping up. So far they are. If you look at this 60, let's get on to a 30 maybe. And here's how you get in on this. The two up, the two down, boom. These two become an outside bar of that. Gives you the outside month. And here's your beautiful reversal week. Two down, boom, two up, and off she goes. And CrowdStrike picking up some steam here and maintaining. Still watching these broader averages. Like I said, they could get a lot of inside 60s because these things, the ranges on this broader average has not been very fun. DVAX. This thing's still having a nice little weaker here. Inside week to the upside. Boom, off she goes, and you can see this. 1, 2, 3, 4 beautiful days. If it's going to be up 5 days in a row, got to do 4 first, right? And if you look at the 30, you're going to see this right here. There's your inside 30, right? And that's how you get in on that. Off she goes. Because this was a 2 down, inside, 2, 1, 2 reversal back up. That's exactly what you look for. If we go to JD China, and we've known about some of these China names having the reversals here on the weekly in the upper middle. 2 down by taking out the lows, and then boom, 2-2 reversal. These guys become an outside bar of these guys, right? And still going. So we'll see. It's pausing up a little bit here for right now, but we'll see. RevStrat 30. Inside 30. Pokes down. Boom. RevStrat 1, 2, 2, and then take out the highs and stall out. So you can see these guys become an outside bar of this stuff here, but then you go into exhaustion risk, and the buyer's got to step up again. So we'll see if they come back in there. If we go to Palo Alto, and Palo Alto gapper from a few days ago, still going, right? So here's what you look for: the 30. How am I going to get in on this? slight higher high, lower low, boom, 2-2 reversal back into the high. So you have exhaustion risk, and that's when you're going to see something like this, right? Because you're going into the highs. Not the end of the world. It's just you're in the land of profit taking when you get up into here, right? Guys get a little antsy to take some profits, and that's what you're going to see there. So we'll see if that goes back inside on the 30 for us. If we go to Zscaler, more exhaustion risk by going into the highs. And a little tricky on the outside 30 here, but when it goes down and then here changes back green, we know outside bars exist. You can go after it right there because then you're going to get this outside bar. And then this selling down into here was rejected. Still rejected here. The 3-2 to the upside and still going. But you got exhaustion risk and things quieting down. SPY's starting to firm up here. We might not get that inside 60 as we've seen this market just defy almost anything and just keep grinding higher. If we go to DG, and DG gaps down, dollar yen, outside month. So what you might hear me say, okay, you'll definitely hear me say this. Once a 3, always a 3 can't not be. And what that means is that they were willing to pay up on DG and sell down. That's the outside bar, right? But now they're coming back through it, right? So if they're willing to do it once, they might do it again. So obviously, a good chance of an inside week next week. But for right now, trying to fight back, and you'll see on this inside 30 right here, and get in on that. And that was also triggered by this, the inside 15. Right? So you always want to use multiple time frames to see if one entry is going to trigger something else, like so. And that's got Dollar Tree going the other way. Now trying to fight back a little bit, but Dollar Tree stays down. And so if you've been watching me for months, you know that we were looking at this outside month, right? Then the shooter, 2 back down, 3-2-2, and we got down to here, and it couldn't take that out. Now, it finally did, but oftentimes, outside month, outside week, they chopped them up, but good in here. Then on the daily, they made sure nobody was in for this one. Right, and then boom, the bottom drops out. And these now become an outside bar of that outside bar, you see? Doesn't mean it's always going to be clean and easy, because it certainly wasn't, but something that you want to know about, because sometimes they are really clean. If we go to Etsy, and Etsy does its job outside month. Once this thing starts going green, you can look for the outside month, and here it comes. Inside week, up, up, takes all these guys out, and you're going to see the broadening formation here. The slight lower lows, and now the higher highs. So the question is this a continuation of this? Come up, triangle the out, and get. And so far, so good. Let's go to a nice 60 for you. There you go. The inside 60 to the upside at Etsy. That's how you get in on that one. If you go to NXPI, and NXPI, and here you go. Slight higher high, slight lower low month. Hammer, boom. These guys goes taken into the highs. You see this reversal on the week. 2 down, boom, 2 up. Off she goes after this reversal. 2 down by taking out the previous low. 2-2 reversal. Off she goes. And then you get your 60, outside bar, inside bar, Chicago, 3, 1, 2, and off she goes in XPI. And that tells you that you might want to look at some SMHers, even though SMH is still an inside day, right? But you know you do have that 2 down, 2 up weaker, and there's stuff that's showing a little bit more strength, like microchip here with your NXPI, and you can see that taking out the month, 2 month reversal on this, and the 3-2. On the weekly outside bar, boom. All right, so this was a rejection of the buying, sold it down here, but then they couldn't continue it. Boom, right back up she goes, and here's your 31260 as well, microchip. If we go to CRTX, CRTX tries to go a little bit down on the 60 here, but we'll see if that reloads, because you have your inside week to the upside, your bright green on the month. And then on your daily, you got your 2 up by taking out the slight higher high, 2 down, boom, these guys become an outside bar of all that. You see, so we'll see in the next hour if you can take closes and then can take out 103.69 would get my attention. We go to TCAT. And TCAT, you can see having a nice little week and month. Nice ranges in here to trade, right? Now it's stuck in here on that 60, but we'll see if that sets up again. On the downside, healthcare having some issues here. UNH, and once again, here's an outside day, right? 2 up, boom, 322 reversal, and this is still good until you have a reversal against you. We're looking to take this baby out, right? So far, so good. Pokes down a little bit on that 60, doesn't fall apart, but on a daily basis, you don't have that reversal as yet, so that was still good. Especially if you got it up into here, that's real nice. And that tells us to look at Humana here, still suffering succotash, all right? Outside weaker to the downside. We knew about that month was going to be a problem, and now these 2 months become an outside bar of that. So keeping an eye on this 60 here. You can go ANTM, see what's going on there. Still an inside weaker, but you can watch all of those together. How's Johnny John doing today? Johnny John's still coming down on this as well, on the 2 up, 2 down reversal week, setting a potential shooter. So as we get closer to the end of the month, we're going to start looking at, what are these months shaping up to be. You got Palantir coming up here too, and this is an important thing to realize when you're watching anything, is that there's something called event continuity. And what that means is that when news comes out during the trading day, I want to know where the price was when it came out, right? So you might recall yesterday, right here, RevStrat 60, as they came out here and said they got an FBI leak or whatever's going on, right? So this level right here is very important to me, right? If you can reclaim that, that's something I'd want to know about, because that's where the bad news came out, right? And you'll notice how that corresponds with this inside 60 Momo hammer. And then, boom, it took it out and went straight up into the highs and took this and that out in one clip, and that also reversed yesterday's down day. So that's something I'd want to know about. So still would have to take this month to get my attention, not being inside week to really get my attention, but I wanted to point that out to you because it's an important point. If we go to Autodesk, and Autodesk stuck in the mother bar, so it does gap down, and you can see it goes inside on the 60 and then goes down, but it wasn't weak enough to take out the opening range, right? That's something I'd want to know about, and that's why we call the bottom of the hour the flip, because right here I'm going to cover that, right? If I caught this down to here, if it continued, that's fine, but that's not what happened. You can see as soon as that 60 opened, it opened on the low and came right back up. That's why you want to know about a new half and the new bottom of the hour. If we go to ILMN, and ILMN chopping them up good in here, still would be inside weak, but it's red, right? But you have 2 up, 2 down day, boom, right here. Takes these guys out. Now it's a question: can you be weak enough to take that out? You got a new 60. You can see that goes inside in the 60, but right on that 60 starts to pop up a bit. Broader average is drying up because we've seen this summer pattern here, especially in August, where the broader averages will open, they run, or they do whatever they're going to do in the opening, and then they kind of sit there for the rest of the day, and that wouldn't surprise me here at all. You do have ZS going into the highs right now. ZS still going. If we go to MA, MA having some problems. Got a new 60, trying to get that going, but the RevStrat Mont inside, poke up, boom, 1, 2, 2 to the downside, still having a rough one here, and then you wait for it to triangulate out, which is this here, right? 2 up, boom. When this takes this day out, we're looking for these guys to become an outside bar of all that, which we got. So you're just into some exhaustion risk down there. That also tells you keep an eye on Visa, because Visa hasn't done it yet, hasn't taken all these guys out. Give me an outside weaker Visa right now, inside on the 60. If we go to some retail, 5 below, now trying to come back, 212 reversal on the 60 to try and negate this, but this is something I want to know about here too. You go into the highs on this, you take that out, that's a 2-2 reversal on the day coming back through, so it was weak enough to take these guys out, right? These two. These are an outside bar of all that, you see? So if we go to Ross Stores, run out of time again, but oops. Ross Stores inside on the 60. Right, still an inside weaker, but you got full time frame continuity, and you're always looking for these long red bars or green bars especially when you get to the strat time. If you get a Burl holding a gap lower, Burlington, and now we'll see if we can get out of that mother bar down in there. Sava, this is called Momo Shooter, right? So you had a bunch of guys cover their shorts, but anybody who tried to bottom pick this thing, guess where their stop goes? Right here. Boom, take them out, and then you wait for this on the 60. Slight lower low, higher high, boom. These two become an outside bar of that, and hopefully you get more out of it. And you'll see right now it's inside in the 60. It also tried to recover here. This is why you'll hear me tell people to trade the 30 and 60 gaps, because what you're going to see here, this yesterday on the gap list was a 2 down, and this is a 2-2 reversal. So you could have taken this, and then you mined that new hour, get out of there. Then you get your inside bar, and there's your 2-1-2 reversal, which takes you, and it's still good. All right, and it's still good. That's like up 88.19. It's down to 70 now, and you got another inside bar. So all that kind of stuff. So be aware that things can dry up here just a tad, because that's kind of been the routine here. But stay on them story stocks. Sector's not doing too much today. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Smith in the Black, Strat Time Report.